Being a writer is destined in my blood, literally. I don't know if you know this, but my dad, the infamous Gerard Police, is kind of a famous author. Yeah. Not sure if you've heard of the smash hit Herbert the Frog Goes to the Store before, but it's a pretty big deal in my house. I guess the Amazon ratings say otherwise. But with that being said, I've genuinely wanted to take up a writing career ever since I was a wee lad. In the second grade, Mrs. Ryan told me she'd be the first in line at my book signing. In grade 4, Mr. Bouchard called me over to help him edit a student's essay. I've gotten praise from teachers, families, friends, and I've even won impromptu writing contests and started my own blog. I am nothing if not determined to make my name known one day, even if it's on Book Talk or something. However, nobody was as serious about my writing career as middle school Elizabeth. I was kind of a loser, so every day after school I would hit the Chromebooks and furiously type away, writing short story after short story. Short story turned into novella, which turned into a full-fledged 230-page collection of fractured fairy tales at the age of 13. We'll save my old works for later. Very cringe. Thankfully, I wasn't alone. I had a friend throughout all of this. I won't name drop her, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway since she moved away to North Reading towards the end of middle school. But for now, let's just call her V. V was another aspiring writer. We had the brilliant idea to share our works with one another, and day after day, we would sit in our own humble abodes and read each other's stories. I will admit, sometimes I got a little jealous that I wasn't the only talented author in my grade, but I never let it get the best of me. I had a lot of fun reading and writing these stories for her. Until I couldn't help but notice that V was taking her editing access to my documents a little too seriously. Every so often, I would enter my new story only to find out that she had begun to edit them. Just little things like an unnecessary adjective or a stray capital letter. But I noticed the document's history didn't lie. Everything burst into flames during fall of 2018. I had devoted my afternoons to a story about a girl trying to convince her parents to buy a pool during the summer heat wave. I shared it with V in hopes that she'd like it. But oh, she didn't just like it. Apparently, she had liked the plot so much that she decided to begin to continue and change the entire plot of my story on my document. I was furious. She had even gone so far as to delete whole entire paragraphs. So yeah, that was put to an end pretty quickly. Like I said, middle school me was a voracious writer. I was cracking out story after story like it was no tomorrow. Whenever we had a writing assignment in school, I would complete it weeks in advance. I took immense pride in my Google Drive, organizing it with a million color-coded folders that corresponded to the genres of my stories. We were all super cringe in middle school, but I think I win the award for the ugliest middle schooler of all time since I tucked my sweatshirts into my jeggings. I had a bob. A really, really bad fuck-ass bob. The only thing cringier than me in middle school were some of the stories I cranked out. My personal favorite is The Magic Cheese, which is a 3-part trilogy about a wizard who adopted a talking wedge of cheese named Randy. I think just to show you how bad this really was, I have to do a live reading. Here is a small snippet from The Magic Cheese 2, Sandwiches of Doom. Randy stood up and started swinging his sword. He had no experience whatsoever and was doing a terrible job of trying to kill the pastrami god. "I'm toast!" Randy hissed. "No, you're cheese," the pastrami god joked. Do you guys want to know the worst part of all of this? I wrote this entire trilogy for my middle school crush. And then I sent it to him. But reading over all of my cringe writing also helps me see how much I've grown. Writing is something I've always felt like I've had a natural talent for. And whenever I write something, it truly does bring me joy. Maybe one day the Magic Cheese series will get a revamp. Maybe one day you'll see it on the shelves. The point is, we have to get through all the messy, cringe stuff before we break through towards greatness. The point is, I had fun writing all of those awful stories. They helped me learn, and now I can admit that I'm a better writer because of them. We're not perfect all the time. Even with my years upon years of writing, I've never had a perfect first draft. We need to learn to accept our mistakes because without them, we'll never be able to grow. There are so many genres I haven't dabbled in yet because I'm scared of trial and error, but I have to learn that in order to get better, sometimes you just have to make the mistake. Never stop doing what you love. Sometimes you just have to embrace the cringe.